everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon. Winding down of a great weekend. Did some digging with the great Glenn Kellaway yesterday. Record store day was kind of a bust, but we ended up doing quite well. And today's been a nice, relaxing day. Music, movies. It's a little cool outside, so it's a good indoor day. And a lot of fun. I thought I'd continue on with my look at my A to Z's and my CDs. This time the letter D. I don't have a large selection, but it's quite a unique and different selection, quite different than the albums that I have in musical genre. Some classic rock, but a lot of there's some alternative metal and some alternative some progressive alternative metal as well. And so it's a little heavier than what I normally listen to, but we'll get into it. So from my favorite band, one of my favorite bands, these guys have had so many lineup changes and people come and go. So I've got the first 3 albums by them in the Mark I version on vinyl, and then comes the Mark II version. So the Mark I version had Nick Simper on bass and Rod Evans on vocals. Richie Blackmore, the guitarist, wanted an edgier sound and a heavier sound as far as vocals and rhythm. So they recruited the great Ian Gillan on vocals to give that higher, stronger vocal, and Roger Glover on bass to give them that deep rhythm section. This was beknownst to the other 2 members who were kind of ousted without even an acknowledgement, really. But it resulted in this great album, their 4th studio album, released in 1970. This is in rock. It's an amazing album. Just wonderful. I mean, you've got Speed King, Bloodsucker, Child in Time, Flight of the Rat, Into the Fire, Living Wreck, and Hard Lovin' Man. Awesome stuff. From there comes probably the most commercially successful album that they had. This is an anniversary edition of it. I have it on vinyl as well, obviously, but this is a remastered album with quadraphonic mixes, also unissued guitar solos on the second side. So it's a double album. Roger Glover had remixed and put alternative guitar solos on the second disc, which I don't listen to all the time because I'm so used to this album, and I know when all the leads are coming, and to hear different leads, it's just sometimes a little weird. But this is Machine Head, my favorite album by the band. Some say in rock, some say Fireball, some say Burn, you name it. But this is my favorite. It was my first album, was always going to be my favorite album by them. But it was released in 1972, their 6th studio album. So there's the original, and then on side 2, or the second disc, is the remixes by Roger Glover, which has the alternative guitar solos. Some days it's cool to listen to. Smoke in the Water is based on a true story. Montrose, Switzerland. Some stupid with a flare gun during a Frank Zappa concert, Mothers of Invention concert, burned the place down with a flare gun. Can you imagine? There's the Rolling Stones mobile unit that they talked about in the song, and yeah, Mother loses gear in fire. There's Ian Pace and John Lord. Roger Glover and Ian Gillan working out some lyrics. There's the band there. So you got Ian Pace, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, Ritchie Blackmore, and John Lord. John Lord unfortunately passed away. There's a great guitarist, Ritchie Blackmore, and Ian Gillan. Those two never really got along. It's unfortunate. There's Roger Glover. And the famous mirrored image on the back, as well as the back of the album or the CD. Fine album. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that was 1972. And then a Mark III version came. So Roger Glover's out, Ian Gillan's out. They bring in David Coverdale from Whitesnake fame, who went on to go Whitesnake fame, and Glenn Hughes on bass and vocals. They shared vocals to come up with this fantastic album called Burn. You got the title track. It's just it's hard to describe. Bluesy, hard-edged, wonderful vocals. It's quite a bit different, but amazing just the same. Every version of Deep Purple is different but the same, if that makes any sense. And then, again, I've got a bunch of albums, so this is all in CD. So moving forward to 1990, again, Ritchie Blackmore and Ian Gillan never got along. So at this point, Gillan's out. They bring in Jolynn Turner from Rainbow, great vocalist, for the one and only appearance on Slaves and Masters, 13th studio album, released in 1990. He's good. He's a good singer. I'm sorry, but man, he's good. So I guess that's the Mark IV version, I guess. And then Jolynn Turner's gone. They recruit Ian Gillan back again to work on this one here, The Battle Rages On, 1993, the 14th studio album. But it would also be the last to feature Ritchie Blackmore. Ritchie Blackmore is out. And then I guess this is the fifth incarnation of the band. Steve Morse from the Dixie Dregs is recruited, and they come up with Perpendicular, which is a blistering, wonderful album. So good. So again, different bands, but this is good. This is from the box set, the original album series. And then not from then, because I think there was a couple in between, but Steve Morse is now a member of the band. Don Airey has taken over from John Lord, who passed away. Don Airey's an amazing keyboardist. If I'm not mistaken, he was with Rainbow as well. I think that's what happened. And 20th studio album released in 2017, Infinite. Or 2017, Infinite. Another remarkable album. Steve Morse is such a great guitarist. And from then, of course, they released Whoosh just recently. Whoosh is... You got to get Whoosh as well. So Infinite, amazing album. There's such a relationship between Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and Rainbow, because Ronnie James Dio, who sang with Rainbow, also sang with Black Sabbath. Ian Gillan sang with Black Sabbath. Roger Glover played on Rainbow. John Lord played on Rainbow. I think Don Airey played on Rainbow as well. Richie Blackmore, of course, went from Deep Purple to Deform Rainbow. And yeah, it's just it's amazing how three similar but different bands have the same members throughout. That doesn't happen too often. But whether you think they're better or not, that's totally a different topic altogether. But it's kind of cool that all three of those bands are related in some way. Going from there, from Deep Purple, we're going to go to, speaking of Steve Morse, who is a fantastic guitarist. We're going to go to the Dixie Dregs, the band that he formed. This is 1977's Free Fall. They're more of an instrumental band than they are a vocal style band, but man, so good. This on Capricorn. And then 1978's What If. It's on Polydor. Two great albums by them. We're going to go in a different direction altogether, to Dire Straits. This is 1979's Communique. Mark Knopfler is a remarkable songwriter, guitarist. This has Lady Rider, Once Upon a Time in the West. Where Do You Think You're Going? The title track, Communique. Portobello Bell. I saw him recently. Brian Johnson from AC/DC has a couple of series, and one of them where he talks to famous rock stars. He's talked to Sting, and he's talked to Roger Daltrey and all these guys. And I saw one with Mark Knopfler when they're both older. They came from the same area, basically. And they were talking a lot about this album. This is Making Movies. And how it's pretty much based on the area where Mark Knopfler grew up. But man, it's such a good album. And this came out in 1980. So you get Tunnel of Love, Romeo and Juliet, Skate Away, Espresso Love, Hand in Hand, Solid Rock, the big hit for them, as well as Tunnel of Love, and Les Boys. Then I have one of my favorites by them, and the title track just brings tears to your eyes every time you hear it. This is Brothers in Arms. 1985. So you've got So Far Away, Money for Nothing with Sting, Walk of Life, Your Latest Trick, Why Worthy, Right Across the River, The Man's Too Strong, One World, and of course the title track, Brothers in Arms, a tribute to the men who died in World War I, believe. But man, what an album. What an album. I never know where to put numbered albums or albums that start with numbers or bands that start with numbers. In albums, when I did that, I put them at the end because I only have one pretty much. And it's got 2 Ds in it. I've added it to the Ds. And I only have one album by this band. But it's a great progressive alternative band. I guess it is not progressive. Alternative rock band. This is The Better Life, Three Doors Down. It's a debut album by them. It's pretty darn good. It came out in 2000. It's got Kryptonite, Loser, Duck and Run, Not Enough, Be Like That, Life of My Own, Better Life, Down Poison, By My Side, Smack, and So I Need You. It's a really good album. Really, really good album. And next, we're going to go to some alternative metal. Yes, I listen to alternative metal. This is the Deftones. This is Around the Fur, 1997 release. I think there's a different cover. When I was looking it up, the year and stuff, it showed a different cover. So I don't know if that's the original cover. I believe it is, but wonderful album. I need to listen to these guys every once in a while. 2000s White Pony. Another fine album. And Diamond Eyes in 2010. I love that cover. And then getting into some progressive metal with Dream Theater. I'll quickly go through these because I've got quite a collection. I've got, of course, John Petrucci and Mike Portnoy formed this band out of high school or college. I mean, it's but what a band! It's so good. This is 1992's Images and Words. And every album I love. Every album I love. There's not one that I don't. 1994 is Awake. Then you get 1997, Falling into Infinity. 1999's Metropolis, Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. 2002's 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. 2009, 2009, here it is, Black Clouds and Silver Linings. Then 2011, Dramatic Turn of Events. It's a double album. And then 2019's Distance Over Time. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. I love every one of those. And with the carousel that I have, the CD carousel, I can put 5 in at a time and just listen to them all day. So good. And finally, again, one of my favorites. We're going to revert back to classic rock again on this one. But you've got the Doors debut album, 1967. These guys put out albums like one right after the other. Because within 1967, again, you've got Strange Days. 2 albums in 1 year. Great album. And then 1968's Waiting for the Sun. And then 1969's The Soft Parade. I mean, album after album after album. Then you got 1970's Morrison Hotel. And then you've got 1971's LA Woman. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums between 1967 and 1971. 4 years. Remarkable. Not too many bands would do that, or had done that, or would do that ever. And they're all great albums. I mean, I know The Soft Parade is a little departure from the rest of them, but man, that just made them how great they were. So there you go. There's my look at A to Z, the letter D. Some great stuff in D. I'll probably continue on with E perhaps tomorrow. I'm not sure how many E's I have. I've got to go through. I don't have the same sort as I do on vinyl, so I may be combining letters, but it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun reviewing all this stuff and going back. Anyway, have yourself a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of the day, and take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.